Very good morning, very good evening to you all. Jai Shri Krishna Guruji. Welcome to the Devi Mahatamyam Parayan. Wishing you all a very happy Navratri. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Om Shri Saraswataya Namaha, Om Shri Guru Dattatreya Namaha, Om Shri Mahalakshmi Namaha, Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Guru Devo, Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. So today we'll be doing the second episode, that is meditation on Mahalakshmi, and we'll be starting with chapter 4. But before that, let me do a quick recap of all the demons and what is that we have learned in the last 2 days. So first is we did the introduction, and then we did different studies about what is the scripture all about, and then we started with the first episode in which the most important demons were Madhu and Kaitab. Now what is Madhu and Kaitab? Just a quick recap. Madhu means sweet talkers, okay? Madhu, which is sweetness. So anything that is heard by us, which is very sweet, we get very carried away. Our mind loves to only listen to all the sweet things, praises, somebody trying to say you're the greatest, all those things, and that is called the illusion, the elusive power of the Lord, okay? And please understand, Madhu and Kaitab, these two demons came out of the earwax of Mahavish, that is Lord Vishnu. And then what happened? Vishnu is trying to fight them, okay? And when he's trying to fight them, they don't seem to get killed. It takes 5,000 years for him to kill these demons. Why is it so? So I explained to you all who these demons are in our world, and why do we not realize these demons that they exist. So most important thing is, like I said, Madhu means sweet talkers. That is the illusion which is heard by our mind, because mind interprets whatever we hear, whatever we see, it is passing a judgment. And based on what we see, what we hear, and what we understand, that is the interpretation of the mind, the perceptions that is getting created, we come up with judgments. And based on the judgments, we believe in certain things, and those certain things do not allow us to see the truth. And who is Kaitab here? Kaitab is one who says, I will not hear the truth. And he doesn't allow you to hear, that is, listen to the voice of God. When God is telling you, do this, don't do this, the innermost voice, the first thought that comes to you is the thought from the divine. He's actually giving you the right guidance. He's showing you the right path. But what happens? Due to Kaitab, we do not want to hear the truth at all. And then when we come into the spiritual world, now here, who is the truth? The Guru. He's actually giving you the knowledge about the truth. But what happens to us? We bring our mind. These two demons are active in us. We do not hear the truth, what the Guru is teaching us. Our mind is interpreting the same knowledge based on the belief system, the judgment. That is why when the Guruji teaches, you need to keep your mind away. Just listen from your heart, because you are not allowed to do the interpretation based on your mind's perception or judgment. So never learn anything using your mind. Means in the spiritual world, first you have to open up your mind to receive the knowledge. Then number 2, please listen to the instructions of the Guru. It is very important. See, the story began by two important characters, the king and the Vaishya, who approaches Markandeya Muni. Why do they do that? One, because the king was defeated by his enemies, and his own ministers, threw him out of his own kingdom. They joined hands with the enemies. Now his own ministers turned against him. And then number 2, the Vaishya, whose family, wife and children, they took away all his wealth and threw him out. And both of them were wandering in the forest. And yet their mind was lost in thinking about what is happening to my kingdom, what is happening to, the wealth over there. They are going to, use away all the wealth. They are going to make use of the wealth in a proper manner. The treasure, they are going to empty the treasure. Those kind of thoughts were constantly rankling. That's just disturbing the mind of the king. And the king says, even though he understands that these are the people who have actually done harm, who have taken away everything from him, yet his mind is constantly thinking about them. The minus, the word he used was, why is my mind attached in that minus? The same thing with the Vaishya. So when the king asks Vaishya, why are you so upset about? So the Vaishya also gives his story. Then both of them approach Markandeya Rishi. And Markandeya Rishi here is the guru who's giving them this knowledge. How to overcome, how to fight these demons within us, how to understand the truth in our life and not fall prey to these illusions in the material world. How do you live a life? Krishna Bhagavan says, we have to live a life like the water, untouched the lotus leaf. It's not untouched. It is just there. Yet the lotus is the one which is bloomed beautifully, and it is growing in that muck. Yet it shines so beautiful. It is unique. We offered it to, Krishna Bhagavan. On lotus, who's there? Lakshmi, Devi sits. Brahmaji is born of that lotus, right? So all that is representation, means we have to live a life like that. Despite living in this material world, not getting attached, not getting carried away and killing those demons within us. Now that is who? Madhu and Kaitab. I hope you understood. What is it? One last time I'm going to emphasize so that you embed this knowledge in your system, and anytime you face these difficulties within yourself, you're able to recognize these demons and kill them immediately. Do not let them take over your mind. So Madhu, sweet talkers, do not fall for any of those sweet talkings, because that is an illusion. And please understand, people talk to you nicely, sweetly, only because if they need certain favors from you. And also, you always want your Gurudev to say nice things about you. But please understand, your Guruji is never going to praise you. The moment he praises you, you will fall down. So, the Guru will always speak the truth. And like we say, truth is bitter. It is very hard to digest. And the second thing is Kaitab, who doesn't even want to allow you to listen to this voice of the God. The Guru is giving you the knowledge, yet your mind says, how does the Guru know? He doesn't know any of these things because he's not in the material world. He has not done this. He has not done that. We make judgments, rather we means the mind makes judgments even on your Gurudev. Be very careful. Do not judge your Guru. You know why? He's knowledge incarnate. He's Para Brahma. We say, no, Guru Sakshat Para Brahma. So when the divine has manifested in the form of a body and he's giving you this knowledge, we look at that body. What is it called? Illusion. And that illusion we look into and we get very carried away. We make judgments on him. How does Guruji know? Please understand, his word creates the objects. His word, makes everything happen in this universe. He is the power. He's the knowledge incarnate. It is because of will everything happens in this entire universe. So never judge a Guru. And most important, Guru is the doorway to attaining God. Guru is God himself. He's a representation. And most important, you know what? The Guru gives you this knowledge so that you can cut asunder all these ignorance, which is also the demons within you. And what is this knowledge all about? The power of discrimination. That is what it is. So here we are understanding how at each level, we have to rise above. Now, the 9 Navadurgas represent each goddess from one of the plexus, that is the chakras within us. They are the representation within us and we have to invoke them. So when we evolve on the path of spirituality, what happens is at every level, there are obstacles that is there. Because we come with a lot of vrittis or vasanas, which are the tendencies from our past lives, which doesn't allow us to overcome this ignorance of ours. And we get very carried away in this mind, body, senses, everything to do with our physical existence or mental existence. And then when we overcome those obstacles, we rise. We allow the Devis within us to rise. So the Devi has to fight. That is called the power potencies within you, which is fighting all the demons. You have to cut asunder, kill those demons. You should never allow it to grow. Don't leave it. It's a similar story even in Bhagavad Gita, right? What does Pandavas do? They kill all the enemies, the Kauravas, the 100 sons of Dhritarashtra. Everybody is killed. And if you do not kill them, they will come and still haunt you back. So killing that enemies from the roots is important. So likewise, overcoming the tendencies, vasanas, or vrittis are extremely important. So that is very important. So that is what is from a spiritual perspective. So Madhu and Kaitab, who are they within you? And also in the material world, you can recognize when somebody is praising you, please don't get carried away with that. And even if somebody is saying something bad about you, don't get carried away by it. You know why? Because now you've understood that everybody is speaking from their mind. It is the mind which is making them say those things. So you don't have to fall prey to it. The only one being who will tell you all the truth is the divine being. Who's the best friend you have? That's the only friend you have, and that is the God. The inner self, innermost self. You have to empower the God within you. Realize this Devi, bring her out. Understand who she is. She is the best friend that you have. Now, do not ignore her. That is what we need to learn. Number 2. So coming back to the second episode yesterday, which we did, chapter 2 and 3, meditation on Mahalakshmi. And here we did the few demons. Number 1 is Mahishasura. Now, what happens? Now, what does Mahishasura do? He became the king. That is, he defeated Indradev, the god of the kings, and he became Indra. Now, what happens? And who is this Mahishasura? First is, he takes, Mahisha represents the buffalo form. What does buffalo mean? Buffalo represents inertia, lethargy, indiscipline, and procrastination, and laziness. It is called tamas. And now when he becomes the god, that is Indradev, then what happens? He is making you become tamasic in nature. You remember when you become lazy, you should understand that you have allowed the buffalo demon, that is Mahishasura, to become the Indradev. Then he is going to rule you. Now, he's not going to allow you to become active. He's always going to make you lazy. You're going to be lethargic. You're completely filled with inertia. You're going to say, I can't do this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to work. He's going to make you completely inactive. So understand, that is why in spiritual, Guruji will always teach that we have to be very active. You have to do all the work and you have to be very positive. You have to be extremely active. Discipline is a must. You cannot be indisciplined in your life. So you have to be extremely active and doing things in clockwork precision. Consistency is key. Following a disciplined lifestyle is a must, so that you do not allow this buffalo demon to conquer you. And where is the mind? The mind is head to toe. So now you understand, his entire army is not allowing to do anything. Even if you feel like doing it, what does your mind say? Oh, today I feel very lazy. I can relax. I worked a lot last week. This week I'm going to take a break. That 1 day break will cost you. So do not fall prey to this demon. Recognize this demon within you. That is why your Guruji gives you a way of life. You have to get up in the morning at a certain time. You have to have your breakfast in time. You have to do your things in time. Everything has to be done in a clockwork precision manner. And do not fall prey to this. Even if you are sick, my Guruji will say, are you dying? It's just the body. You have to override the sickness. Sicknesses are created because of your mind alone. In reality, there is no sickness. Who's creating the sickness? It is your mind. 95% of the sickness or diseases is a creation of your mind. They are unreal. So you have the power to override it. Didn't we learn? The Devi says her kavacha is within us. She, destroys all these diseases. She makes your body fit, provided you believe and you are able to override it. So what must you do? You must, if you think you have an headache, just go do work. Yesterday, I had a very stinking headache. My Guruji said, why did you take medicine and even take rest? That is not required. The way to overcome your headache is just go do work. Listen to Krishna bhajan. Your headache will go away. So don't give that relaxation to your body or your mind, making it believe, yes, there is sickness. And please understand, the pain is felt by the mind. In reality, there is no pain. So this is what you need to understand. So then from buffalo demon, what does the demon become? The lion. Now what does the lion represent? The lion says, when your Guruji says, why don't you do like this? You should be doing this way. And then things will work out. Immediately what your mind will say, that's the lion demon will say, I know this. That's lion also represents what? Ego. I know I have done this before. Just don't keep telling me, like that. We become very arrogant. That ego comes in us and we think we know everything, and we tend to fight with the guru. We reason out. And who's doing all this? Please understand, it is your mind. Now who's captured your mind? Mahishasura. So he's not going to allow you. Then the lion, he becomes a lion. And then what happens? When the lion comes in, it's a pride, no? I can do this. I know I've done this before. Just don't keep saying to me. We bring our ego. Ego is the root cause of you falling off, whether it is in the material world or in the spiritual world. Do not have ego. Destroy your ego first. This I know should be destroyed. Please understand, the I cannot know. I don't have knowledge. I can't know. Knowledge is. So when you give up the ego, knowledge will shine. Knowledge is self-effulgent. What does the guru do? He only removes your ignorance, the layers which is covering this knowledge about the truth. So most important is become humble. Do not allow this ego to come. Even if your ego is coming, control. Do not let that words come out of your mouth. And at that time, just do Krishna Arpan. Whatever that is, just do Krishna Arpan. You don't say things because that is going to be detrimental. You will fall off the progress very easily. See, it is very difficult to rise above, but to fall down, it's extremely easy. So be very careful. Watch this ego. You don't even know when this ugly ego rises its head within you. It will just raise its head before even you realize it, that this ego has come in you. Immediately you will start speaking certain things, and that is detrimental. Be very careful. Then from the lion, what did the demon become? It became man with a sword. Now what does man with a sword mean? Okay, now continuously our Gurudev is saying, see, he's pointing you out, you're not doing, you should be doing. Even the voice within you sometimes says, and even in the material world, your parents or your well-wishers might say, you should don't do this, become disciplined. And what we immediately do? We become infuriated. Immediately you want to, literally catch hold of them and just tear them apart or bite them off. Why? Anger comes in, infuriated, and then you say, okay, look, I know I've done this, stop saying this to me. We want to defend ourselves. You become, you bring in the defense mechanism because you don't like to be pointed out. You don't want your mistakes to be pointed out, and immediately you want to prove you are always right. You reason out. We give n number of reasons for not doing something. One very important lesson which a guru teaches you is how to become extremely disciplined. Discipline means if you don't wake up one single day, you have woken up 99 days, 99% of the time, every single day at a certain, whatever the prescribed hour is. And one day you miss, and then you tell, oh yes, I have woken up every single day. No, it's not every single day. So consistency is key. And even if you miss that one day, you can't tell your Gurudev that, yes, I have done it 100%. No, that 99% doesn't work. It has to be 100%. I mean, what I meant is, you can't tell him, yes, I've done 99 days, I have woken up. Just one day I missed. No, that one day is the cause of your failure. So do you understand to what level of discipline you have to do things? And consistency is a must. But please ask yourself, how disciplined are you in your life? How much of consistency do you show? That is why the Guruji says, when we come into spirituality, what he teaches is called sadhana. We are asked to practice the same thing every day, time and again, over and over and over, because we have to evolve. Sadhana is the only way, and you are going to fail. But please understand, it is fine. You fall down, you have to get up, again, run again. But you can't give up. Giving up is not an option. Giving up is only for weak-hearted people. See, failure is a part of life. If you don't fail, you don't know what it is to succeed. And then what do? We are always worried about falling down. And we give reasons, and we get lost in that. And that is what the demon wants you to do. But here you're not empowering the goddess within you. So don't get angry. When you get angry, it is a doorway to hell. Krishna Bhagavan very clearly says, anger is the doorway to hell. One of the 6 enemies of humankind. So be very careful. Anger is not going to serve any purpose. See, anger should be only used for winning in this world, but not for self-destruction. Anger with yourself, anger with people, anger with things that has happened and dead and gone has no value. Okay, so don't get infuriated. Your Gurudev is going to test you. He is going to put his finger on the spot that is going to hurt you the most. So be very, very careful. Do not allow this, this teaching of his, the way, his method of working with you, so that you overcome this demon to become the cause of you falling off. Next, from the man with a sword, what does the demon become? He takes elephant form. Now, what does elephant form represent? It represents ego, the bloated ego, arrogance and pride. You know what? Now you tell your Gurudev, yes, you tell, because you were now pointed out and it hurts your ego no end. Now what you're going to say to yourself, let me show him, I'm going to start right from tomorrow. I will wake up and I will show him that I am very capable. That pride and arrogance comes in, that ego comes, that's a bloated ego. Now it's very hurt, right? That a man with infuriated, it got hurt and now it wants to show you. It wants not show you, show whoever has told you. It could be a Gurudev, it could be your well-wisher, whoever. Now you want to prove that, no, you're not something like that. So then what you do? Yes, I know, I am going to show. And you make all the effort and to wake up in time. And then you'll go very proudly, yes, you will wake up. That one day you will definitely wake up and then you will tell, look, today I did it. You're not going to give reasons. Today I was able to do this. You will be mighty pleased. Only for that day. Then what happens after that? The elephant, from elephant form, the demon goes back into its original form of buffalo. Once again, back to square one. Inertia, lethargy, laziness, indiscipline, procrastination, and you can name it. And it goes back to sleep. Have you seen the buffalo representation? It walks very slowly. Have you seen human beings today doing everything very slowly in a relaxed manner? They don't even move fast. You know how much of inertia has been filled with every human being? This is Tamasic Yuga. This is Kali's Yuga, Kali Yuga. Now only you are getting this knowledge so you can rise above this, all the tamas. You have an opportunity to rise. That is why this knowledge is coming to you. And we have to make use of this knowledge to destroy these demons within us. There are no demons outside. Kill the demons means physically you're not killing anybody. You're destroying, you're killing these tendencies, the vasanas, all those shadripus and your demonic dispositions, which is filled from head to toe. That is what you're going to destroy within you and rising above, giving that, empowering the goddess within you to do whatever you wish you can do. Unraveling those power potencies that is there within you. Understanding the greatness of who you are, the Devi. You have to bring her out. You have to use that power to achieve things in the world for your betterment. Empowerment. What does empower mean? Empower the God, the goddess within you. They're all inside of you. Identify those capabilities and rise above. And most important, even what does Devi say? I have embodied myself forth. So she takes a form to, destroy the evil, the adharma, and, put dharma in place. That is what it is. Every divinity comes here for establishing dharma. There is a mission. You have to serve the God's purpose. That is very important. So with that, I think I've given you a synopsis of what we learned in the last 2 days. Now we will begin with the second episode, 4th chapter. Meditation on Mahalakshmi. Wielding in her hands the string of beads, battle axe, mace, arrow, thunderbolt, lotus, bow, water pot, cudgel, lance, sword, shield, conch, bell, wine cup, trident, noose, and the discus, Sudarshana. She has a complexion of coral and is seated on a lotus. I worship here that Mahalakshmi, the vanquisher of Asura, Mahisha. So now we are going to start the 4th chapter. The sage said, when the most valiant and wicked Asura and the army of the enemies of gods were slain by the goddess, the hosts of gods headed by Indra lauded her. Their necks and shoulders bowed in salutation and their bodies charming with horripilations of delight. All this world has been pervaded by the goddess through her soul force, which has embodied itself in the form of the joint forces of the entire host of gods. To her, the mother, worthy of worship by all the gods and seers, we bow in devotion. May she arrange for us auspicious things. The infinite Lord, Brahma and Shiva cannot adequately describe her unparalleled glory. May she, Chandika, be pleased to give thought to the protection of the entire world and to the destruction of the fear of evil. Thou art prosperity and beauty in the mansions of those who perform good deeds, poverty and ugliness in case of those disposed towards evil. What is she saying? This is very powerful. Thou art prosperity and beauty in the mansions of those who perform good deeds. So we have to always perform good deeds. We have to be our good self. Do not think anything bad. Don't do any wrong action. And always say the good things. In thought, action and deed is an important thing. Poverty and ugliness in the case of those disposed towards evil. Intelligence in the heart of those who possess a cultivated mind. So what is being told here? We have to cultivate our mind. How do you destroy the Mahishasura in you? How do you destroy this tamas and energy? The only way is to cultivate your mind. See, mind is a place where you can cultivate good or bad, right? Both God and evil is within us. So here the fight is between the demon. We are fighting out the evil. So what is very important? For the God to rise and win, you have to cultivate in your mind all the good things. Think all the beautiful things. Only think good about everybody. Speak good stuff. Always have positive thoughts. Don't think anything negative. We should not give room for any negative thoughts at all. Let us not bring our past over here. And once I finish this chapter, I'm going to explain very important lesson, which is for you to understand how these things happen within us. Okay, so do not have any wrong ideas. Always think positive. Don't say I don't know. See, that is what these demons do. No, when you become lazy and inertia, and if the guru is telling go and learn, Guruji, I have not studied before. I don't know. What does the word come? I don't know. So you're bringing in negative, everything negative. You're not giving that God a chance to shine. That, you're not giving that divinity to rise within you. You're already closed the door. So don't say anything negative. Always speak positive. Give the universe a chance to work magic. So you have to experience that magic by empowering this divinity within you. Give yourself the power to do things in this world. So stop giving negatives to yourself and to anybody in the world. Always understand everything is possible. You're much more capable than what you think you are. So, intelligence in the heart of those who possess a cultivated mind. Faith in the good folk and modesty in those born in noble family. We bow down to thee, O Devi, protect the universe. O Devi, how can we describe thy form? It cannot be grasped by the mind. And how to extol thy excessive valor playing havoc amongst the asuras. And those exploits of thine in battles surpassing all those of the divine and the asuric hosts. Thou art the cause of all the worlds. Thou art made up of the three gunas, yet a stranger to their attendant defects. Thou art beyond the ken of perception of even Vishnu. So any divinity is beyond the ken and understanding of human mind. We can't perceive using our mind. So here, forget about human mind. What is being told? Thou art beyond the ken of perception of Vishnu, even Vishnu, Shiva and others. Nobody can perceive her. That is her greatness. Refuge of all art thou. This whole world is a portion of thine. Yea, thou art the primordial and manifest, supreme Prakriti. She is Mother Nature. O Devi, thou art Swaha, by uttering which all the godheads get satisfaction in all the sacrifices. Thou art also the cause of satisfaction to the Pitris. That is why thou art called Swadha as well by people. O Devi, thou art supreme knowledge, the cause of liberation. Thou Bhagavati, constituting great unthinkable austerities, are practiced by sages who reject all their shortcomings. See, even sages practice all the austerities. Why do we do all the sadhana? Why do we have to practice every single day? Because we have to evolve. We have to get liberated. We have to become this Devi ourselves. There is no God outside. That God is me. You have to realize I am the Devi. And I need to understand my greatness, which is what you are. You have to understand your greatness. So you need to know. You have to do the sadhana. Who reject all their shortcomings, keep their senses well under restraint, know the essence of truth and seek liberation. Soul of sound, treasure trove of immaculate Rik, Yajus and Saman, whose arrangement of words is beautiful with the resonance of Omkara. Thou, Bhagavati, are the three Vedas. O Devi, thou who destroys the great distress of all the worlds, are the common speech for carrying on in the workaday world. O Devi, thou art verily Gauri, established by the moon-crested Shiva, Lakshmi, who has taken abode solely in the heart of Vishnu, the enemy of Kaitava, Saraswati, the intellect, knowing the essence of all Shastras, Durga, seated unattached, the boat for crossing the unfordable sea of existence. Smiling and pure, resembling the orb of a full moon, glowing like pure shining gold, was thy face. Yet, it is very strange that on seeing it, Mahishasura became furious and struck it with violence. Now, what is being told? Such a divine, beauty, so beautiful, and yet, Mahishasura, the demon, on seeing you, wants to fight with you. How strange is that? When you see the divinity, don't you melt in your heart? You forget your existence. You can't even understand what is happening. There's always, it's a very magical thing. And you get so intoxicated, in the presence of the divine Lord. You're just floating like in the air. It's a very blissful experience. And yet here, the demon, on seeing this divinity, wants to fight. Can you understand that? O Devi, even more strange was the fact that Mahishasura did not breathe his last immediately. He saw thy angry face, terrible, with eyebrows knit and crimson like the rising moon, who breathes after beholding the enraged Lord of Death. Devi, thou art supreme. Be gracious for the existence here. Enraged, thou destroyest forthwith the families. We have known this now, that the huge army of Mahishasura has been vanquished. There's a very beautiful underlying lesson here. What is that? Even when the Devi has killed the demon, you should understand, she's actually granting him liberation. Don't you think Mahishasur Mardini and Mahisha, though the demon, she's granting him that goodness. And imagine, he's so blessed to have got killed by the Devi. Isn't that such a great fortune? Yes. So it is important to understand that the Devi is very compassionate. When we say she killed, we only look at it in a one aspect of it. Please understand, in a similar way, like how Sri Ram killed Ravana. And he absolved Ravana himself. So Ravana tamed Sri Ram. That is how it works. So the killing, even when Krishna Bhagwan kills all these people in Mahabharata, like Shishupal, in the whole of Krishna Lila, you will understand how many different demons, and he had fought so many people. So when he kills all of them, he's actually giving them liberation. See, the greatness of the God is this, that they are ever compassionate. They're very loving, kind, benevolent. We think killing means destroying. It's not destroying in that perspective. So understand the greatness. So you have to bring out these divine propensities, which is what Krishna Bhagwan has taught in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 16, verse 1, 2 and 3. Go read and reread it. It's very important that we imbibe these qualities, the divine qualities, and practice living in our own life. See, many a time, how a human being reacts is based on what happens to us in our world, with people, place and things. The whole of Tripura Rahasyam, in which Dattatreya is teaching Parshuram, what is the three things he tells that you have to overcome? People, places and things. This is where we are stuck forever. And that is what you have to overcome. Once you overcome this, then there is nothing to stop you from attaining that enlightenment and realizing the God who you truly are. Self-realization or God realization is what we say. And then once you understand this divinity, then you will serve the purpose of the divine Lord. You will not even open your mouth. You will just do. In the first prayer, isn't she telling, see, I've come here to serve God's purpose and I'm just going to do my job. How beautiful. She says, I take a form. I'm embodied myself. That is what it is. So you are also the divinity. First, you need to know who you truly are. To whomsoever thou art gracious, thou ever grantest them prosperity. They are well esteemed in the countries. Theirs is the wealth, theirs the fame, and their pursuits of Dharma perish not. They are the fortunate ones who have devoted children, servants, and wives. Devi, by thy grace, the doer of good acts, does daily with great faith all the deeds conducive to Dharma. This is very important. And always doing so reaches heaven. What does it mean? We have to, whatever that we do, it has to be on the path of Dharma only. It is not about what you have learned. When we say Dharma, first you need to understand what is Dharma. Dharma means righteousness. What is righteousness? And according to whom? According to the divine Lord. In Bhagavad Gita, what you will learn is what is Dharma as per Krishna Bhagwan. We are not talking about societal defined frameworks, societal defined norms and way of life. The way of life which we are talking about is as described by Krishna Bhagwan. That is what you need to know. That is the real Dharma. Following the path of righteousness. The word is righteousness. It is not the right and wrong defined by the society or people or your elders. No, that is not what it is. So first, understanding this is extremely important. O Devi, art thou not therefore the giver of the fruit in all the three worlds? What does it mean? So I'm going to read this once again. Devi, by thy grace, the doer of good acts does daily with great faith all the deeds conducive to Dharma, and always doing so reaches heaven. So it has to be conducive to Dharma. You can't do any adharmic action. First understand what is Dharma. That is why learning our scripture, especially the foundation of the entire Dharma, is Bhagavad Gita. You have to learn to understand what is Dharma. And, O Devi, art thou not therefore the giver of the fruit in all the three worlds? So she is not the one who's giver of the fruit in all the three worlds. So it's beyond that. So understand what is that. When thou art remembered in crisis, thou removest the fear of all beings. Fear. We are always fearful. And who causes this fear? The demons within you. Why does the fear come? We are afraid of everything, We are afraid of anything and everything. Even the stupidest thing. We are afraid to face our life. We are afraid of, what happens tomorrow when I lose job? What if I don't have money? My parents will die. We are afraid of death. We are afraid of sickness. We are afraid of every small or simplest, stupidest thing also. Constantly we are living our life in full fearfulness. We are only fearful. For what? Ask this question. Why are you afraid? We are afraid, what if I fail in my, company? What if I don't succeed? What if I, my business doesn't grow? What if I fail there? We're always afraid of everything. What will people say? What will happen to me? Why is this fear there? First, most important word in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 16, again verse 1, is absolute fearlessness. What is there to fear? When you are doing everything as per the Dharma and following your path, why are you afraid? What is there to afraid? Ask this question. There is nothing to be fearful about. That is why we have to be very truthful in our life. We don't have to say anything. We don't have to speak lies. We don't have to do anything wrong. We don't have to, please say false things to please people. See, this world has become adharmic because it is Kali Yuga. That is how the world is. It is programmed. But you rise beyond that. You be your good self. Being your good self means you don't have to become afraid of anything. When you are on the path of truth, my Guruji has taught this very beautiful lesson. He has always told Rajma, When you are on the path of truth, when your only goal is to attain Krishna Bhagwan, you need not fear anything because you are on the path of Dharma. You are on the path of Dharma. There is nothing that shall befall you, and you don't have to be afraid about. And in that, first we need to know, we are not bothered about what people say and don't say. Don't get carried away by other people's opinions of you. That is not the truth. See, they're all using their mind and talking. So when mind itself is, imagine, their mind is ruled by who? Mahishasura, the buffalo demon and all others we saw. So when everything is based on a perception, that itself is unreal. So why are you getting attached to the opinions of others? So first is overcome this likes, dislikes, good, bad, happy, sad, all the pairs of opposites, but live a life which is called God-pleasing life. Follow a very beautiful life, which is a path of Dharma alone. And then nothing shakes you. And then you become that lotus leaf which is untouched by the water. How beautiful is it? So here also, when thou art remembered in a crisis, thou removest the fear of all beings. Understand this, Devi is you. All the astras, shastras are within you. So what are you afraid? You don't have to be afraid of anything and anybody. But first, you have to be your own good self. Not with fake things. You cannot have a hidden agenda and try to portray a fake fearlessness. Many people do that, It's called, and there's sorry, I'm not getting the word. It's called a false bravado people put up. Yes. That is not what you have to be. You have to be very true to yourself. Being true to yourself is extremely important. Then, when remembered by those stationed in themselves, thou grantest the most auspicious thought. See, good thoughts come. So what does you have to do? The cultivation in the mind has to be only good thoughts. And she grants this. How? But she is the one who kills those enemies. But who has to put that effort? You are the Devi. Okay. The Devi is not somebody outside. I am talking about you. Each one of you here is a Devi who is listening to this beautiful knowledge. So you have to rise yourself. You have to kill those demons and understand this is the Devi you are. O dispeller of poverty, suffering and fear, who else except thee has an ever compassionate heart to render help to everybody, every body. That is the truth. So, O dispeller of poverty, suffering and fear, all your suffering, misery, whatever that you're going through, everything shall go away like this in a jiffy. Who else except thee has an ever compassionate heart to render help to everybody. This is the story of this temple, the abode. This is a body where the Devi resides. You have to bring her out. And she's ever compassionate. She's waiting for you to, empower her within you. But you are completely lost. You're empowering the demon. You're giving the demon the form, the fame, the victory. And who's getting killed? The gods are getting killed. This is what is happening. So don't allow that to happen. Empower this Devi. Give her the form, the fame, the victory. And, the name, the form, the name, the victory. And kill the demons. That is the truth. And you don't do this. So do not allow the demons to rise within you. If these are slain, the world will attain happiness. Let them be committing sins for a long stay in hell. But they can go to heaven by meeting the death in the battle. This is what I said. The goddess gives them liberation when they are killed in the hands of the gods. How beautiful is this? She's so compassionate. But they can go to heaven by meeting their death in battle. O Devi, thinking thus, thou hast slain the enemies. This is certain. How sweet, how divine. So become this Devi. Why dost thou not reduce all the Asuras to ashes by a look? The fact that thou employest weapons to fight the foes in order that even those enemies purified by weapons may attain higher worlds shows the kind thought thou hast towards those unkind ones. Oh my God, this is so beautiful. This is what you are. So this is what we have to be in our life. When my Guruji teaches, be your good self means what? This is what it is. What does he say? He says, the fact that thou employest weapons to fight the foes in order that even those enemies purified by weapons may attain higher worlds shows the kind thought thou hast towards those unkind ones. Means what? See, she is kind even to those who are unkind. They can be against her, but she is ever compassionate. She is very kind with them. This is what my Guruji teaches. We have to be always kind, loving, benevolent, compassionate, ever caring to everybody. We should not discriminate whether they are enemies. And please understand, one of the very important divine qualities are enmity to none. We don't have to have enmity with anybody. See, everybody is born with a nature and they have certain way they are behaving. They are given into the nature. That is why they behave like that. So my Guruji will always say, you be nice to everybody. This is what we are taught in spirituality. See, if somebody is doing something wrong, Krishna Bhagwan is there. He is going to take care of them. Everybody has to pay for their actions. Every action has a repercussion. But you don't fall into that. You be your good self. This is what he teaches. Let them behave however they want. They're all driven by their inherent nature. Understanding this, we have to be ever compassionate. So you be kind, you be loving, give love. The one thing today which is missing in everybody's life is that love. The goodness, it has gone out of the window. Why? Because this is Kali Yuga. So we have to love, we have to give love, unconditionally love everybody. There is no need to be conditioned. Don't think it's only my daughter I will love. Love everybody's daughter, like your daughter. This is what we have to practice. Then, the eyes of the Asuras have not been put out by the fierce lightning flashes of shining swords and the mass of light emerging from the points of the trident. This is so because they were seeing thy face adorned with the crescent moon emitting cool rays. O Devi, thy nature is to subdue the deeds of the wicked. So why does the Devi come? She's subduing the deeds of the wicked. How divine act is that? Likewise, this thy form cannot be grasped by thought and has no parallel with other things. And thy valor destroys those who take away the God's prowess. Thus, mercy has been exhibited even to enemies by thee. That is very beautiful. So you have to exhibit mercy even to your enemies. Okay, that doesn't mean, let me here clarify one line, okay? That doesn't mean you pet your enemy, okay? So suppose you are seeing a snake. You cannot pet a snake. The snake is actually going to bite you. And you cannot bring the snake, oh yes, I was told to be kind to everybody, even to my enemies. So I'm going to keep my snake as a pet, and you cannot pet the snake. Stay away and admire. That is all you can do. You are not supposed to take the snake close because its nature is to bite. It's going to bite. So likewise, the similar thing, the story of a scorpion and a sage. He's saving the sage, okay? The sage is saving the scorpion which has fallen in a not a well, in a tank, in the water. So he's trying to lift. So when he takes him out, the scorpion's nature is to sting. So he stings him and again it falls off, okay? So then there was a passerby. He saw the sage, doing this a few times, and he comes and asks, why are you trying to save the scorpion? Because you know it is going to sting you. So the sage says, the scorpion's nature is to sting, but my nature is to save it. But there's a smart one, which is my Guruji taught. You know what he says? You have to take a stick. And why are you using a hand? So become smart. Use a stick, remove the scorpion out. So it's not going to sting you, and yet you're saving it. So this is called being smart, not being a fool. So how do you save also has a method. So which is not going to harm, and your good nature is always there, and you save the scorpion. That is how you have to act in this world. So, and thy valor destroys those who take away the, okay. Thus, mercy has been exhibited even to enemies by thee. That is what I gave an example. What can be the comparison to this, thy prowess? And where can one find a form like thine, very captivating and at the same time striking fear in the enemies? So your form is self-effulgence. It's full of effulgence. You have to bring it out. Where your way, how you live in the way of life, as following the Dharma. You know what? You have to stand high, tall, with integrity, with everything which is so divine. Please understand, that will only bring fear into others, your enemies, while you can rise your head high above and do work in this world and following a God-pleasing life. And where one can find a form like thine, very captivating and at the same time striking fear in the enemies. O Devi, giver of the best in all the triple world, Only in thee have been seen compassion in the heart and harshness in the battle. So she might be fighting, appearing very, ferocious or harshness, like, not ferocious, maybe harshness, and she's quite scary, her appearance and forms. But that is only an external thing. But inside, how is she? She's full of compassion in her heart. That is what we have to be. The entire triple world has been saved by thee, by the destruction of foes. And the hosts of foes have been led to heaven by being killed in the battlefront. Our fear rising out of the haughty Asuras have been dispelled. Salutations to thee. O Devi, guard us with spear. Mother, guard us with the sword, with the ring of the bell. Guard us and with the twang of the bowstring. Protect us in the east, in the west, Chandika. Protect us in the south, Ishwari. Likewise, in the north, whirling the spear, thy spear. Whatever are thy auspicious forms, and whatever thy terrible forms that move about in the triple world, with them protect us and the earth as well. Mother, protect us from everything with whatever weapons thy tender hand contacts, the sword, the trident, the mace, and the like. The sage said, thus the upholder and sustainer of the worlds was lauded by the gods and worshipped with flowers produced in the garden Nandana and with fragrant sandal paste. What does that mean? Who is worshipped? In flowers produced in the garden Nandana. What does that mean? There's a secret thing that is being told. Who is this Kali Ma? It's Krishna Kali. What is she worshipped with? And fragrant sandal paste. This is none other than Krishna Bhagwan. He is Krishna Kali. She was offered with devotion by all the gods the divine incense. Gracious and benign in the countenance, she spoke to all the gods, bowing in salutation. The goddess said, let the gods choose whatever they desire from me. The gods said, thy eminence has done everything. Nothing is left to be done. Our enemy Mahishasura has been killed. Great goddess, if a boon has to be conferred on us by thee, whenever we think of thee, destroy our great sufferings. Mother of immaculate face, whosoever is the mortal who praises thee with these lords, may thou, who are gracious to us, be so to him for the plenitude of knowledge, growth, glory, and along with opulence in wealth and household comforts like wife, etc. The sage said, O king, thus propitiated by the gods for the sake of the world and for their own sake, Bhadrakali said, yes, and vanished. O protector of the earth, so far has been said how the goddess desiring the weal of the three worlds was born long ago from the bodies of the gods. Again, how as a helper of the gods she manifested out of Gauri's body for the protection of the world and for the destroyal of wicked Asuras as well as Shumba and Nishumba. I shall relate, listen to it, I shall tell as it happened. Reem Om. Here ends the fourth of Devi Mahatamyam in Markandeya Purana during the period of Shavarni the Manu. So with this, we have finished the second episode and chapter 4. So we'll end here. And I remember I told you that I'm going to say something. I will definitely say this on Monday. We are over the time, so I will stop here. So once again, thank you for joining the Devi Mahatamyam Parayan. Have a good day and good evening to you all. God bless, and wishing you once again a very happy Navratri. See you all tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. Tomorrow's Devi Mahatamyam Parayan is not in the morning. It is at 4:30 p.m. I will send a note out. Thank you once again. God bless.